Okay, I'm so excited. Guys, this is so awesome. We have the number two freaking income earner in the company on here tonight. This is so freaking exciting. And like I said, for those of you who just hopped on, I'm so proud of you guys for earning this training. Like, yay, awesome for hitting your goals. So like I said, comment any questions you have in the chat. I'm going to go over basic questions that you guys gave me for Cassie. I know some of you guys gave me some questions already, and just comment any extras you have in the chat. But anyways, thanks so much for doing this for us. I know we're always so excited.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So when you first did you in your mind like think that you could ever get this far with the business?
No, I mean, in the beginning, I definitely didn't see obviously what all has come from it. I didn't think that far ahead. I didn't have the vision for it. I just saw this as like side income. And that was really all I saw. Like, I didn't really think I was capable of that because I was never really good at anything in life. Like, I wasn't good at school. I wasn't good at sports. I didn't have like a talent. I just always felt like an average or even below average person. Like, I didn't have good grades. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like always a hard worker and I had a bunch of jobs. So I got a good work ethic, but I just felt like, I don't know, I guess I didn't feel worthy or could see myself there. And I was also like, I still am an introvert. I'm very shy. And I didn't think that someone like me, someone that's shy, could do something like this because I figured only the people that are outgoing and that are confident enough could do stuff like that. So it definitely was a growing experience and it definitely was gradual. It wasn't just like one day I woke up and like, okay, I can do this. I think it was just seeing other people that were like me, doing it the same age as me and doing this as a full-time career. Then it made me realize like, okay, well, if they were doing it, I can do it too. And at the same time, like I was going to school for something that I absolutely couldn't stand. And like I kept changing my major so many different times. So I felt very lost with what I was going to do with my life. And I just didn't like school. I never did. And I was never good at it either. So I just felt like I was just going through the motions. So once I realized like, oh, I'm good at this, once I, gave it a couple months, I'm like, I can go all in with this and make this like my full-time career because if someone else can do it, why can't I do it? And then obviously the confidence grew and the vision came with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so crazy. Like how far you've come, and like you said, you're an introvert, and you never thought that you'd get this far, and then like look at where you are today because you were consistent and you stuck with it. Like it's so crazy. Okay, so starting with some of the first questions, just a pretty typical one. Can you give some tips on how you are a mass enroller every day in your business?
Yeah. And of course, I mean, every day is different. So it's not like every single day is a great day. We're going to have bad days all the time. That's normal. So don't think that like my life is perfect, that I'm enrolling every single day. Like I try to, but obviously there's those days where I have my off days and I try so hard and I get nothing. So don't think that it doesn't happen to like top leaders because it does. But honestly, it all just comes down to massive action and how many people you're actually talking to. On the days where maybe I'm not enrolling as much, I actually like look at back in my day, I'm like, well, how many people did I talk to? And maybe I did talk to a bunch of people. Maybe I just didn't sign them up yet. Maybe I'm just planting the seed and I will sign them up another day. But honestly, it all comes down to massive action. Like the days that I'm signing up a lot of people, I'm talking to like so many people. I'm having so many conversations. I'm following up with people. I'm being consistent with posting. And honestly, it all comes down to consistency and how much work you're putting in. Because if you're only putting in an hour a day, yeah, you could be successful in this business, but you can expect to get the same results as someone that's putting in 5 hours a day. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you have to do this, have your whole life be consumed with this. But you kind of sort of have to make it a priority before other things, especially if you want to get to where other people are. And it's not like, my whole life is consumed with it. Like I'm still going about my everyday life, spending time with my husband, spending time with family, friends, doing the things that I want to do. So it's great and it's fun and I'm excited. So it's not like it feels like work, even though I'm always doing it. It feels like it's almost like a hobby, but it's not. It's my career. But I try to make it fun so that it doesn't feel so, I guess, tedious and like a job because obviously I want to be happy doing what I'm doing and that's what I'm doing. So honestly, it just comes down to like how many people you're talking to. So if you feel like you're not talking to enough people, then how many people are you messaging? How many people are you following? How many people are you following up with? So, I mean, it's probably things that you guys have already heard and know, but really just evaluate like how many people you actually are talking to and do something about it to make sure you get your numbers up, whether it's making a new Instagram or just sending out more messages than you have before, sending out more follow-ups, or finding a way, to get all that done in your day. Make a task list, like just do whatever it works for you to make sure that you get everything done in your day. If you do have a busy schedule going to work or school, whatever you guys are doing. But yeah, I mean, that's like pretty much it. There's like no secret. It just comes down to like literally putting in the time and the effort.
Yeah, no, I love that for sure. And yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I'm huge on writing down my tasks because I feel like I'll get overwhelmed if I don't, even set timers if I have a busy day, remind myself and writing down what I have to get done. That way I can look at it and be like, oh my gosh, that's really not that much. And then making another Instagram, that's so helpful if you're, oh my gosh, I feel like it changed my life. If you're so busy.
And honestly, with the way the algorithm is now, I mean, I've heard some rumors, I'm not sure if it's entirely true, that we are allowed only 6,000 actions per month, which is why, I'm not sure if you heard this, Gabby, but which is why some people are getting blocked from following or messaging more than normal. And because if you think 6,000 actions per month, that's only about 200 a day. So if you are the one like, messaging and unsending and resending and following, hundreds per day, you're going to get maxed out really quickly at 200. So having that second and third account is going to completely solve those problems because you could spread it out throughout your accounts. So I have 3 accounts. I haven't had too much trouble. I think it's because I'm spreading out the work. So if you don't have a second account, I definitely recommend it. And I was just going to add in too, like enrolling and talking to people is addicting. Like when you get one, like you want to get another. So like get in that group. Like if you get one, like don't just stop and be content. Like I'm always like, I go as far as I can because I feel like if you get one, you can get 5 in the day. It's all about your mindset and your attitude and how excited you are because you're going to feed off that energy with other people as well. But yeah, definitely make a second account if you don't have one.
Oh yeah. And then you can get like I said, I feel like I'm not even glued to my phone as much. I can get so many messages out so much faster. Yeah, no, I know a lot of us have been struggling with being blocked from following. Thank God I only got blocked on one account, but I know a lot of us have been going through that. Okay, so what do you do when you feel discouraged or when you feel like you're having weeks or months where enrollments are lower than normal for you?
So I mean, when I'm feeling discouraged, I honestly have to do something to keep my mind in the right place. So whether that's self-developing, praying, having alone time with God, or journaling, I love journaling, and I feel like it just gets my head in the right headspace. Sometimes, we get in bad moods for no reason at all, just because we're human and it happens. And what I like to do whenever I'm not feeling good about myself or good about my business or just cranky in general, I like to literally take out my journal, and I do it on my iPad. And like literally write a list of things that I'm thankful for. Because when you have gratitude and you start the day with gratitude, it's like literally going to set the tone for the day on a positive note. Just because how could you feel sorry for yourself or have a pity party or feel any type of way when you realize how blessed and thankful you are? And maybe you're in a part of your life where things aren't going so great, but you have to honestly learn to appreciate and love every single process of your life. 4 years ago before I joined It Works, I was living in a little tiny studio apartment above a nail salon, barely making ends meet with bills and just struggling. And like I wouldn't say depressed, but I was like obviously sick of living that way. But I thought it was normal at that age. But besides the point, I still found, I guess, happiness in that stage of my life. So no matter where you are right now, even if you aren't anywhere near where you want to be, still like find those little good things that you have in your life, of course, because we're all blessed. So obviously journaling, and I journal about all different types of things, whether it's like my goals, my dreams. I'll literally like fantasize about what I want my future to look like, and I'll write it down and I'll thank God as if it already happened. So like I like to call it like dreaming with God. And it's like literally manifesting like your future, which is great. And it's so exciting because every time I write it down, it gets me excited because I get pumped up about like what's going to come. And, it says in the Bible, ask and you shall receive. So it honestly is just a matter of time. Like if you truly believe that you can have whatever it is that you want, you will have it. It just all comes down to your belief and if you're willing to put in the work behind it. But of course, like we all self-develop in different ways, whether it's you reading a book, listening to an audiobook, watching a video, whatever it is, like do something to get your head in the right space, and do it daily. Like try to get in the habit of doing it daily. But if, sometimes life gets in the way and like we forget to do it for a day and a day leads into a week and, things like that happen. So definitely just like reevaluate to see if you've been growing your mind. And as far as enrollments go, yeah, there's definitely going to be times in your business where you're working just as hard as you were a couple months ago and you feel like you're just not getting the same results. That's just business. Life is up and down. Business is up and down always. You have to roll with the punches. Just like with social media, it's always going to be evolving. 4 years ago when I first started, there was no algorithm. Didn't matter how many times a day you posted. Didn't matter if you were spammy. You know what I mean? Like it was just maybe a little bit easier back then. We didn't have Instagram stories. So, social media will always be evolving. Your business is always going to be evolving, but it's always going to be fine. Like we're always going to find a way through. I think back like a couple years ago, even before I went ambassador, like I went ambassador before there was keto coffee. And I think back, like, what did I even sell? Like, I can't even like imagine like what I sold, because now all I sell is keto coffee. So just like remember, like you're in the right place at the right time. Like the products are amazing. I heard there's a rumor that we're going to get 4 new products, hopefully by the end of next month, because they're getting rid of stuff that no one's really buying. So they're really working hard on getting us new products. But just trusting in the process, trusting in the business, knowing that, great things take time. And it's just part of the process. It's not going to be a smooth sailing ride to the top. If it were easy, everyone would do it. So just know, like, if I'm having a bad day, like I remind myself, like, well, this is just part of it. Like, it's not going to be great every single day. It's not going to be happy-go-lucky. Life is great. Business is great every single day. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be defeats, but that's how you grow and that's how you get past things and really appreciate the end result. Because if it was so easy the way up, like you wouldn't appreciate it as much. So yeah, that's like pretty much it. Honestly, all just comes down to your mindset and just keeping your head in the right spot and just being faithful and just knowing that God will reward your efforts. Even if you feel like, the enrollments are not the same and you're working really hard, just keep going, stay as positive as you can. Like they will turn around. I promise. It just comes down to you and your attitude.
I love that, the part where you said dreaming with God. That is so cool. I really do love that. It's almost like Carrie Young posted something. I think it was.
Yeah, honestly, the first time I heard of it was from her, and that's like when I started it.
Yeah, it literally was along the lines of it was from her devotional yesterday, and it just talked about manifesting the desires of your heart with God, and that He's giving you everything you need to manifest those desires and stuff. Yeah, that's so good. I love that. Okay, let's see. As far as your favorite, I know you said you journal and you pray over your business. As far as your favorite self-development books and like audibles go, what do you recommend for everybody?
So definitely for beginners. Well, The Secret is amazing. If you guys haven't watched The Secret, definitely watch it. And that's a movie that you can watch on Netflix. It is a book too, but the movie's just better and easier. You Are a Badass is really good. And I feel like that's just good for like overall self-worthiness. If people feel like they're not worthy of like success or they're brand new. And then You Are a Badass at Making Money is another book that's great too. And then The Magic of Thinking Big. I really like that book. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind and Think and Grow Rich. There's a million books like you can research. I know Grant Cardone has a couple of good ones. The 10X Rule, The Compound Effect. There's so many books. Like I mostly just journal, and I feel like that really just fills my cup, or listen to sermons or whatever. Everyone's different. Everyone resonates with something differently. Not everyone maybe likes the same speaker. Not everyone likes the same author, whatever, but just like experiment with different people and like find out like what really resonates with you and what clicks with you and what makes you feel the best. But yeah, if you guys don't like reading like me, just do audibles. It's so much better.
Yeah, those are all so good. So good. Okay, let's see. So how do you, I guess this kind of goes along with the discouraged question, but when your team as a whole is extremely negative and you're trying to stay positive, I don't know if you ever experienced something like that, but how do you stay positive when your team isn't positive, if that makes sense?
I'm very blunt with people. So like in a very nice way, like I'll tell them straight up, like your attitude is not going to get you anywhere. You know what I mean? Like with the attitude that you have right now. And I always remind everyone, like the top 5 people that you spend the most time with, or the top 5 people closest to you, is honestly a reflection of you. So if they're negative all the time, chances are they're probably around people that are negative, whether it's their family, friends, whoever. And honestly, sometimes it sucks when it's family because of course it's family and you love them. But, I would never tell anyone cut them out of your life, but maybe distance yourself a little bit, or maybe don't talk about the business in front of them if it's something that opens up a can of worms. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to involve every aspect of your life with them if they aren't going to be supportive. But you do have to do your best to surround yourself around people who get it. And if you have no one local to you, get on Zooms every night. You know what I mean? Like, we can be on here for hours hanging out and it's like you're right next to me. So, I mean, it's just so, so important. I think I said on the other Zoom, but like, if you have a fire and you have a bunch of logs, the fire is going to stay lit. But if you have one single log, the fire will completely die out. So it's the same thing with people. Like, we need each other to keep going and to lift each other up when one person's down. Like, there's just no way that you could, as one person, get to the top, you by yourself. Like, you're going to have your bad days. Doesn't matter how on fire you are for this business, like, bad days are going to happen. Passion sometimes dies out a little bit. Like, you need another person to uplift you. And that's why we do Zooms. That's why we have teams. So, like, I'll ask them, like, how's your life at home? Like, who's around you? Like, I'll ask them straight up. And if they'll tell me, and I'll be like, listen, like, you have to do your best to, distance yourself or find another way, to hang out with new people, because look what it's doing to you. It's bringing you down. And obviously you don't want to feel this way 24/7. So, like, I'll be blunt with them and try to almost fix the problem. If someone's being negative, like, all the time, honestly, like, I don't really want to give it the time of day. Like, I get it. There's days that we complain, we're upset, something happens, and I'm here to listen if you want to vent. But after you vent, that's it. Like, we're not going to just have a pity party. You know what I mean? So I tell people that as well. Like, like I said, I'm very blunt. So, I feel like for me, like, when I really saw a change in my business, I was like spending as much time as I can with my leaders. Back when I was in Connecticut, I had a local team, and I was blessed to have a local team. So we got together like literally a couple times a week, and I had to work Wednesday, and we were always together. And I remember before, like, when I first started it, Lindsay and Emily, and like, they'll tell you guys all the time, they were very negative in the beginning of their business, and they were not at all the same people that they are today. And honestly, I think us being together for that year, every single day or every week for that year, growing together, hanging out together, definitely shifted their mind. Because even though, like, I remember Emily would like be complaining and like, be upset about this or that. And then she'd come over, and then she'd surround herself from all these great people that were doing it works. And obviously at some point or another, something switched, something clicked, because she was spending her time with people that got it, people that were uplifting her. So, it's not going to happen in an instant. It's not going to happen just like once, but over time, people will shift their mindset. But you just have to get in front of those other people. Like I said, if you don't have anyone local, get on Zooms. But maybe even if you don't have a local team, see if you have a sideline person that's not on your team that's local to you, even if it means just hanging out at Starbucks for a few hours or whatever, or just hanging out with someone that's going to keep you accountable. Whatever it takes to, I guess, just keep your head in the right spot. But yeah, don't be afraid to like tell your team like to stop. Like, I tell people, like, I don't tolerate that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to you. Because then you're going to end up getting me in a bad mood, and now you're going to bring me down. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants that. So obviously I'm always there to listen, and I'm here if you want to vent. But after that, that's it. So just do your best to stay positive for your team and set the example for them, of course. Like, don't like engage with them if they're being negative, because then you're just like making it worse.
Yeah, I definitely love that. And I think for me, for sure, when I first started getting on Zooms, and when I first started, we didn't really do a lot of power hours, but like we would have like weekly Zooms, and I didn't have a single person on my team when I first started. And I lived in a different city than I do now, and I didn't know anybody that did it near me. And that was so, and I mean, like, Nay lives in Connecticut, and I lived in South Carolina when I started, so I wasn't even close to her. But that helped so much, getting on Zooms, and now we have power hours, and events definitely helped me too. I feel like when I went to conference for the first time, I was like so connected with everybody. So yes,
Definitely. And if you guys, did you guys all get a green carpet ticket on here?
I know some people waited, and then they sold out, but
So what I would recommend to you, because they sold out, I'm not sure. I heard a rumor that they might be transferable for the people that bought them just for the codes. Maybe you'll be able to buy them off of them, but don't like quote me on that because I'm not positive. But regardless if you can get a ticket or not, I would still go, because at least going is going to get you around those same people, because everyone like usually goes for at least a couple days, if not a week, because it's, they make it a vacation. It's Florida. Why not? And like get a hotel room, get a house, whatever it is, like, and hang out with those girls. And then whoever couldn't get a ticket, you guys could do like a watch party, because I'm pretty sure they're going to live stream it. And then you guys can watch it together wherever you're staying. So it's still going to get you there and, be around all that energy, be around all those people, and obviously have a vacation. So why not? So I definitely wouldn't let that keep you from coming, because just being here around all those people can make such a difference. So I definitely recommend doing that.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. Yeah. No, well, when I went to Green Carpet was my first event, and I was just a Ruby back then, but I felt like the tickets didn't sell out as fast as this year. They like really sold out.
I think maybe because of the promo codes, and obviously as the company grows, like they don't have as much capacity. That's why when they say get a ticket, don't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea for everybody to come down. Yeah. Okay, guys, we definitely have some planning to do then. That's such a good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many beaches. It's so beautiful down here. It's a vacation spot. Like, trust me, you're gonna have a great time regardless. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think I have one more. Okay, so one more, and then I'm gonna open it up for questions for you guys. So, just a basic one. Okay, let's do this, because I think this will be very relatable for you guys. So when you first started and you were working, at the nail salon, and I know you were cleaning houses, right, back then too?
Yeah, I did like so many different jobs.
Yeah. Okay, so what did working your business look like back then for you?
So, I mean, I'm trying to think back, because I was like so long ago, but honestly, like I was just so like committed and like so tunnel vision for the bonus that I was going after, because I went Ruby my first month and got $1,000 bonus, and then Diamond my second, and I didn't know anything. I was literally ignorance on fire. And honestly, all I could tell you is that no matter where I was, whether it was work or school, and I wasn't supposed to have my phone out, I did it anyways. I mean, maybe I wasn't following the rules. Maybe I got in trouble a little bit, but I was like, at that point, like I knew what I had my hands on, like what other 20-year-old was earning, a $1,000 or $10,000 bonus. Like that job wasn't going to pay that for me. And I would just try to do something productive. So whether it was in between class or during a lecture where it didn't matter if I had my phone out, or if my boss wasn't there and I got to have my phone out, like I know that sounds bad, but I honestly put it first. I'd wake up earlier, and I love my sleep. And honestly, for the most part, I probably didn't even get to sleep in at that point, because I was always working or at school. Maybe like that one day a week where I got to sleep in, I probably didn't. I got up early, stayed up later. Of course, when we get home, all we want to do is get on the couch, get our PJs on, and watch Netflix. But I didn't do that. Like I literally worked my business. And of course, we could watch Netflix while working our business, but it's not the same, because you're going to get consumed in a show and you're going to realize, holy crap, an hour has gone by and I barely got anything done. So it really takes like focus. I mean, especially if you're promoting. If you're promoting and you're really chasing your promotion, you kind of have to like put all things aside and just focus on this. But of course, in a regular day-to-day, in the life of someone in this business, like I'll do both. But, when I'm running and it's a sense of urgency and I'm running for this promotion, like I didn't care. I did whatever it took. So, I mean, yeah, like at that point I was 20 years old, like people my age were all like going out partying, going here, going there. I mean, I had a pretty big social life before the business. And honestly, I just told everyone no if they asked me to hang out, like, because I knew I wanted this so badly. And I knew that if I was hanging out with other people, like they would end up distracting me. So I know that might sound, I don't know if it sounds crazy or if that sounds like I'm boring, but like in the end, obviously it paid off. And obviously I had more time in the end, because, after those first 2 months, I was able, like one by one, start quitting those jobs, because I literally had so many different odd jobs. I was also bartending and babysitting on the weekend for extra money, and cleaning and working at the salon. I think I did one other thing. I can't even remember, but I was just doing so many different things. Like I never even had a day off. So of course, like, once I promoted and started making that extra money, I was able to slowly like leave those jobs one by one. And of course, doing that freed up even more time for the business. And remember, guys, like, I don't know what ranks you guys are, but like, even if you're not Diamond yet, and I know Diamond is the rank where you really maximize a compensation plan and can really start making a full-time income. Even before Diamond, like I was making a lot of money in fast start bonuses. So it honestly all comes down to you and how much you're willing to put in the work, because you can literally live off of fast starts. Like if you need $1,000 a month, go enroll 10 distributors and fast start all of them. And you doing that, I guarantee your team is going to start growing rapidly, because now you're going to have start having new distributors in your team. They're going to start enrolling people and they're going to start enrolling customers. And don't take fast starts lightly. Like fast starts are amazing. It's still one of my favorite ways we get paid. Like today when I got my $300 bonus, I was so excited. I was at the mall. I'm like, great. Now I don't feel bad for all the shopping. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm still so excited even after 4 years for those couple extra $100 every single week. And that can really honestly pay everything if you really put your mind to it. Like I know people who make thousands of dollars a month in fast starts. Like you can make a full-time income monthly in fast starts if you really put in the effort, but it all comes down to how many people you're willing to talk to. It's been done before, you can do it. So don't act like, oh, well, I'm not diamond yet, or I'm not this rank yet. Like I haven't started making great money yet. And I understand that commissions, are a little weird until you go diamond. But you got to make those fast starts. And I promise you, once you start enrolling a lot of distributors, like your team is going to explode, because that's honestly the key to high volume and honestly just promoting enrolling distributors. So yeah, honestly, like I literally, if a Thursday comes around, I don't get a bonus. Like I literally get such bad FOMO from everyone else posting their fast starts. Like I want to be in competition with myself. Like don't compare yourself to other people, be in competition with yourself. Like literally tell yourself, like you want to get $300 next week, $500 next week, whatever it is. Like you have to just put in the work and don't ever miss a fast start, because I hate when people miss fast starts. If you miss a fast start, it's like you're okay with throwing $100 bill down the drain. I don't even remember what your question was. I honestly totally got sidetracked.
It was just how you worked your business when you were newer and you had like 5 jobs.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, that's basically all. Just came down to making it a priority. We all are busy in life. We all have things going on, but like if this is important to you, you're going to make time for it. So you have to just work it in between every 5 minutes that you have. Wake up earlier, stay up later. If you want it bad enough, like you'll get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just blows my mind, like when you say all the jobs you had. Did you go to college at all, or did you?
Oh yeah, I forgot to say I went to school.
And
yeah,
you had
bad student, but I went.
That's crazy. I know, because some people are like, well, I'm in college, this is hard, or I just had a kid, so this is hard. And then like you had 5 jobs and you were in school. It's like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I can't relate to the kids, but I mean, we're all doing something different. We're all busy. So, and I know there's tons of moms out there that have a million kids and still did the same thing that I did. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Before.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, drop your questions in the chat. We have 10 minutes left. So if you guys want to drop your questions or unmute yourself, we don't bite.
No, that's not a dumb question. It's a good question. So yeah, the only way for you to actually promote in the business is by enrolling distributors. Loyal customers are great, but you're never going to see that, real residual income and those larger paychecks until you enroll distributors. And you honestly make faster money too. Those were the $100 fast starts I told you about. So every single time you enroll a distributor, once that distributor becomes fast start qualified, which means having at least 2 loyal customers and 115 personal bonus volume, you make a $100 bonus, but it has to be done within their first 30 days. So it's very doable. And it's my favorite way we get paid. Well, one of my favorite ways we get paid. Does that make sense? Whoever asked. So for host to post, I would honestly probably stick to the keto coffee. I mean, it's different for everyone. Like you can definitely, experiment with a bunch of different ones. I think the most people have gotten best response to is keto coffee, thermophyte, the cleanse. You could even do hair, skin, and nails. People are always looking to grow out their hair. Those are probably the top 4, I'd say, get the best response. Just weight loss in general. I know you guys have more questions.
Oh, really? Or just
Don't be shy.
Just unmute and ask. So Marlene just asked, do you see that going live has tremendously increased your business? So I guess maybe on Instagram.
Honestly, I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I've never gone live before. And I know a lot of people talk about going live, it's great, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I think it is great. I think a lot of people have gotten great feedback from it, but I'm probably a perfect example of someone that has never gone live, and obviously I'm successful. So, I mean, that just comes from me being shy, and like that's one of my like out of my comfort zone things I probably need to work on. We all have our faults, but if that's something that you want to do, definitely do it. But we all work this business differently. We all do different things. I've always been on Instagram. Some people just do Facebook. Some people do both. Some people are all host to post. Some people message. Some people don't. Everyone does something different. And that's why I love this business, because there's not only one way to build it. So I've never gone live before. And obviously I enroll people and I'm successful and I build a successful business. So don't feel like if you do or if you don't, it's going to be a deal breaker for you. I mean, if you want to try it, definitely try it. I'm sure it'd be great. But if you don't, whatever, you know? So, I mean, yeah, if you say you're not comfortable, that's fine, but just make sure that you're doing other things instead of that.
Anybody else? I know you guys have questions.
What's the best way to get people to enroll? I mean, like I said, we all, build this business differently. For me personally, the two top ways I enroll people, well, I guess three, is by messaging, posting on my story, and following up. So I build this business on Instagram. I have 3 Instagram accounts. And the reason why I have 3 is just because it gives me more people to follow and more things to do, because of course your Instagram will only let you do so many actions per hour and stuff like that. So having multiple accounts just lets me get more work done. It's not like that you have to have one. I mean, I would definitely recommend it, but you don't have to if you're new. And then posting in your story. And I also wanted to add this in too about posting in your story. Posting in your story is great. And honestly, I've heard that posting in your story gets you even more views than the post on your feed. And you want to make sure that you're posting good content. The better the content, the more views you're going to get because of the algorithm. So make sure that your account looks good. Make sure that you look like a real person. You don't look like a commercial. You don't look spammy. And make sure you're posting more than just the business. Make sure you're posting about your everyday life and you're incorporating that too. Maybe it's the food you're eating, the clothes you went out shopping for, your dogs, whatever, your house, you at the beach, like whatever it is that you're doing, because people want to see that as well. If they only see, it works posts all the time, they're probably just going to go right over your stories, or it might not even pop up in their timeline because you're not, getting the best out of the algorithm. So just make sure at least once a day you try to just incorporate different things to get the most views. And make sure you're consistent on posting in your story too. Like back in the day, I used to post on my feed every single day. Now I post on my feed a couple times a week, and I'm just posting on my story consistently all throughout the day because that's what's getting the most views, and that's what is more important right now with the way social media has changed. And it's honestly great because Instagram stories, like Snapchat, it doesn't really matter how many times you post on it. It's not annoying. So feel free to go crazy on your Instagram story. But like I said, just make sure you mix it up with things other than the business. How to push through being stuck in one specific rank for a very long time. So honestly, it all comes down to, well, it could be a couple things. The first one, honestly, is your mindset. Like, do you honestly picture yourself or envision yourself or feel that you're worthy enough for the next rank, whatever that is? I'm not sure what your rank is. A lot of people are stuck because the mindset to the work ethic. Like I told you guys, I went diamond my second month. I promoted really quickly, but like I was working like a diamond since the beginning. It's not like, okay, I want to go diamond, I'm going to go diamond, then I'll start working like a diamond because it'll be my full-time income after I'm diamond. Like I put in the work as a diamond, and I was, matching the efforts of what a diamond would make, even though I wasn't seeing the money necessarily right away. And that's the thing too. Like you guys need to remember in this type of business, we're going to work before we get paid. So it's going to be like you are working before you see the reward. if you, work at a 9 to 5, you're clocking in, and you're getting paid a certain amount of dollars per hour. But with our business, you're going to work more before you see that return. But in the long run, you're going to make so much more money, and you'll make money for something that you've done once, or maybe you'll have like an off month or off day or whatever, where you can't work at all because life happens, and you're still going to get paid. That's the power of residual income. So you just have to remember that you have to put in the effort and trust the process, that the reward will come. And like I said, make sure you're putting in that effort that matches the rank that you want. Like I tell people that are double diamond that want to go triple diamond, triple diamond, 6-figure annual income. Like that's huge money. Are you not putting in the work of what it takes to be a 6-figure annual income earner? You know what I mean? So like if you're not, then there's your problem. So just make sure that you're obviously working for it and you truly envision yourself there. So make sure you're self-developing and you have that belief in yourself. I know it says we're going to be off in less than a minute, so I don't want to get cut off. So if you guys have more questions, but I hope that like answered that last one. Do you guys have any more questions?
Yeah, we have like less than a minute. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you guys don't have any other questions, we can end it there. But thank you so much. This was so great.
You're welcome.
So helpful. Thanks so much for hopping on. And I hope you guys have a great night.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.